Hey guys, my name is Christina and yeah, it's nice that you watch my video. It's about an interview which I took a long time ago in my hometown with a friend of mine, which is about Halloween. And yeah, we just asked some people randomly to choose a topic so they could decide which they want to choose. And yeah, one married couple, Annette and Rob, choose Halloween, so that's about it. And yeah, I don't want to talk much, let's get started. You're more than welcome to stop when the questions have been asked, so you can think about it on your own and yeah, be a part of this video. So yeah, let's get started.
Now we don't really celebrate it because not only are we older and past it, but we are now living in a country where it's not really celebrated. But as a child, it was my favorite day of the year. So it was a time everybody could celebrate a little outside of themselves. So people would wear masks and costumes and stuff, and then you would get a chance to see them act out of character a bit, and everyone would have a little more fun. So throughout the day it was always about a little bit of tricks and a little treats for the kids. So yeah, it was a great time as a child.
Okay, thanks. Yes, and it's funny for me because the first time that I actually really saw preparation of Halloween, not Halloween itself, unfortunately, was in Canada, October, the first time you ever brought me to Halifax, to Nova Scotia. And we had to leave earlier, but we saw the houses in the neighborhood getting prepared in the coolest ways ever. There were like spider nets, spider webs, and people preparing, and
ghost goblins, skulls.
And then I just know Halloween from his stories. And it's starting to come to Europe, so I have some candy for the neighborhood kids, and that is all that I know. But I would like to go trick or treat with you in Canada.
For sure.
Yeah.
There tends to be different sort of strings of theories, and people have different attachments to the way and how they celebrated it. So it just became kind of a what's the words I'm looking for? Not a routine, but a tradition played out between the communities and families. So then you would know where the kids were free to roam and be safe in particular neighborhoods, and other neighborhoods where they would only go escorted with adults and stuff. And then some houses were set up with themes and have haunted houses and spooky things, and
I don't know the history, but I like to research on things. So I just recently did this on Christmas with the Rauhnächte in between, where the inner world and the outer worlds open, and that's when people retrieve back in the days and light a candle. Maybe Halloween is similar, where worlds. I don't know.
Do you know why Halloween has been celebrated, or do you just celebrate it because everybody does it? I think many people does it because of, yeah, everybody does it. And yeah, I find it interesting that she talked about the Rauhnächte, because I didn't heard it at all. So I'm a Christian, I think, yeah, Christmas is about Jesus and that's all. But I will definitely look up for it, what it is about, and yeah, just think about it. Yeah, and just to make sure what Halloween is about, I just want to read something which is on history.com about Halloween. Yeah, if you don't know what is Halloween about, but as Rob has said, nobody knows it that well. So yeah, it's a mystery. So The tradition originated with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, when people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designed November 1st as a time to honor All Saints. Soon, All Saints' Day incorporated some of the traditions of Samhain. The evening before was known as All Hallows' Eve, and later Halloween. Over time, Halloween evolved into a day of activities like trick-or-treating, carving jack-o'-lanterns, festive gatherings, donning costumes, and eating treats. Yeah. So yeah, now you know one possible history point of Halloween.
There's definitely paranormal activity, but how people believe and maybe get fixated on things that aren't physical allows them then to have a ghost in the mind, even that they are entertaining phantom thoughts, and maybe you're creating a delusion, a belief on your own. But I'm always interested to hear about the unknown, naturally, but I wouldn't get pulled too far down astray these theories or stories.
I do believe that there are the spirits around. I totally do believe this because my mom passed away 5 years ago, and I felt like the connection did not end by just her leaving the form, the physical form. I can still really feel her, and I had recently the feeling that I'm holding her, and like in my heart I was able to say, you can go, it's okay, you don't have to hover, without me actually knowing that I was still holding her. So I do believe that we can, without knowing, keep a soul and not set them free in a certain way.
Yeah, and also Halloween was always a chance to be reminded and recognize the ones that are lost, and appreciate the dead, the non-living. But it didn't have to be ghouls and goblins. It can be spirits of friends, family, but again, because it's unknown, that's what allows people then to think it's a
But we went, for example, to Jerusalem, and we went up to the, what was it called again? Masad. And we saw like, Masada, we saw like in the rock, it looked like a lot of faces. And I don't know if you know the story about this. Masada, there were like almost 1,000 people hunted down by the Romans, and they said, we're gonna either we are willing to end our own life before we get captured. And we felt like that those souls were still in that rock, trapped.
So it was kind of heavy atmosphere.
And the fact that the forms were kind of pulling out of the matter itself. And they had mass suicided together and jumped off the cliff of where they were living. And the Romans built a
2 years long, or however long, they built a ramp up
the back where they could see when they were arriving, so the whole community stayed together and then ran off this edge. So things like this.
For sure, energy is still there. But then you label it. If you call it something, you label it, and that gives another person the opportunity to say it's right or it's wrong. So I think it is really important that some things you can't explain, you just know them within your own heart.
What do you think about this statement? You don't have to label everything. If I think about it, it makes sense, but at the end, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how to describe it well, but if you experience something and you don't know what it is, it's not easy to label it, because you just don't know it. But I think there are different ways of experience something, and yeah, I take the example of God. I can pray to God and say, hey God, show me that you're here, And if I have a feeling or he reveals himself to me, I can say, okay, I just experienced something supernatural. But I could also say, I don't label it. And I think it's important to be brave and to label stuff. But it's also hard, so I can understand her statement. Yeah, what do you think about it? You can also type it into the comments, and yeah.
I'm an athlete, and within the activity I practice, it's not uncommon that there's fatalities, and I've been around a lot of fatalities in my life, and I've got friends and spirits that show themselves quite regularly as soon as I'm open or acknowledge them as a presence and not as a thought or a past, but keep them real. Then they show me themselves in different ways quite often, yeah.
Do you think they are spirits or demons or something else? Did you ever experience something like that? If you have experienced something, you can type it into the comments, to let us know. And yeah, I definitely think there are demons and spirits, and yeah, because I'm a Christian, I believe that there's a hell and there's heaven. So there's Satan and there's God, and yeah, I haven't experienced it, that I saw a demon or something like that, but I've heard of a friend of mine that she have seen one, and it was really scary. It sounds a bit creepy maybe, but I truly believe that it's right. And as Annette was feeling her mom, I think everybody can have an experience with it and feel something, even if it's just an atmosphere which is heavy and dark, and yeah.
And then our relationship started we have a very specific story, but when we got together we were separated for a few hours, and we connected through telepathy.
Telepathy.
And we have that very often because Robert is traveling the planet, sometimes he's away, I can't reach him, but we always call it our internet works, because we can communicate just in our hearts and minds, and then be like, oh yeah, remember then? Yeah. And
also sometimes a distorted reality, but
you have that with friends or family when you're saying, I just wanted to call you, and I believe that we're all connected, and if you're open for it, you can live it. And this is, again, I wouldn't call it, I find it weird that we call it weird, because it's the most natural thing that we can communicate within our hearts, and that we're so away from ourselves with the devices and everything, instead of just taking a moment and getting in tune again. That's nice.
Have you experienced something like Dave said? You think about a person, and in the next few hours they are writing you, and you think like, what? I was just thinking about you, and yeah, it's really interesting how that works, and yeah, it's still a mystery for me how it is working, and yeah, but it's really interesting, and I think there's a special name for it. How was it? Is it the law of attraction? I think it's the law of attraction, but I'm not sure about it, and yeah, I don't know what to think about it. So yeah, that's something I want to get deeper and research. I think the video is about researching, but that's good to think about stuff you haven't thought yet, and yeah, to renew your mind, and yeah, to exchange thoughts.
naturally. You wonder why, which leads you to wonder more.
So I'm a graphic designer, and I have a nice flyer for my own business, and it says, what does it say? Be realistic, plan for a miracle. It's by Osho, and this, I think that says it.
Expect nothing and you won't be disappointed.
It's kind of funny what they said. So on one hand there's Annette saying be realistic and plan for a miracle, and on the other hand there's Rob saying expect nothing and you won't be disappointed. We can decide what we want to do. Do we want to dream big? Do we want to step out and think that wonders and miracles are still happening today? Or do we want to stay rational and want to, do we want to stay in our comfort zone and don't take the risk to be disappointed? But you have to try to go out of the comfort zone. That's what we can decide. Do we want to stay in or do we want to step out? Me personally, I want to step out. I want to trust God that He can do miracles, that He can do wonders, and that He's somebody I can trust. And that's something I wanted to share. That's the end of the video. I hope you liked it. I think a few more videos are coming, a few more interviews, and it's nice that you watched my video. If you have some questions, you can type it down below in the comments, and you can give this video a like, but you don't have to. I'm sorry for my English. I'm trying to do my best. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you guys. Good to meet you.
Yeah.
That's what you say now.
And then I say